So many people are claiming that the Mandela effect is a supernatural phenomenon that major magazines are being forced to cover it. Major news outlets like Fox are talking about it. They're making movies about it. And there's literally thousands of social media channels now across all platforms that are just breathlessly covering this. But the unconvinced are working overtime to stuff this supernatural phenomenon back into some naturalistic box. They keep telling us we're all just misremembering and we're all just confused and befuddled. But the Mandela effect community is not only relying on one form of evidence to validate our testimony, we have 7. We have biblical prophecy, residual evidence, statistical probabilities, flip-flops, notable figures who agree with us, vivid memories, and similar to me. Well, similar to me means that the unconvinced remembers just like we do. They remember Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, and so do we. They remember Grand Central Station, and so do we. So if we have a demon, so do you. And if we're crazy, so are you. But the real problem is with the church leaders, because the changes taking place to our reality include the Bible. This has initiated a great separation in the church, so you had better be on the right side of history. I mean, how else could you explain that I can go to 500 pastors in a row and ask them, hey, pastor, who laid down with the lamb? And every single one of them will say lion without hesitation, because I've done it 30, 40, 50 times now. But when you go to Isaiah 11:6, it says wolf. Now, there's only 2 explanations for this empirical observation, unless you're a liar. Either all pastors now have dementia, or there's a supernatural phenomenon that is messing with your Bible can't change doctrine. I mean, only liars would try to advance the idea that this could somehow be explained because the human memory is so unreliable. The unconvinced try to suggest that this observation is simply caused by the fact that we're confused by misquotes in pop culture. And somehow these misquotes have overcome all the influences of every Bible study that these pastors have gone through, every sermon they've written, every sermon they've listened to, every hour of private study for decades, every daily devotional they've read, every audio they listen to. Please, someone misquoting these passages 50 years ago is not going to overcome all those influences. I don't care how many times you presume it got repeated. Your story is irrational, it's unconvincing, and you seem to be obviously lying about this to most of us. And so, as I used to say when we were growing up, nah, frog, not today. You know, maybe it's because some pastors are unbelieving believers. Maybe they don't really even believe the Bible, much less believe that we're in the end days. You know, maybe they don't like the book of Revelation because it's too complicated and they don't want to have to field questions from parishioners that they can't answer. So they stay away from it. And then they brand anyone warning about last day's events as obsessed with unimportant side issues. They always tell us, you know, John, I just want to focus on winning souls. Well, they're not mutually exclusive. The days of business as usual, however, are over, because your house is on fire and you're having a tea party on the train tracks. I mean, the unconvinced pastors are like a detective that goes to the house of the suspect and he finds the bloody knife, he finds bloody clothes of the victim, and the victim's body buried in the backyard, but somehow he concludes there isn't enough evidence to get an arrest warrant. In fact, he doesn't even bring him in for questioning. And the rest of us are looking at this and we're saying, what is wrong with this guy? It's no wonder so many people have left the church to try to find Jesus. Now, don't get me wrong. If there was a pastor within 50 miles of me that was openly addressing the Bible changes, flat earth, NASA, fake, tyranny, all this stuff, I would be there in a minute. But they don't seem to exist, so we're forced to go online and meet. So, if you'd like to learn more about walking through this wicked world as a Christian truther, head on over to Wake Up or Else on YouTube. And hey, be sure to check out my book on Amazon. God bless.